Hi guys. Hope your day is going well. I just filmed this whole video the first time and I have this little clicker thing that starts and stops my videos if I want. Well, didn't realize I was sitting on it the whole time. So it kept starting and stopping my videos. So I had eight different little tiny segments and never like the full thing or even full explanations of everything. So here we go again, and hopefully it's better this time. Sorry, the scenery today not very pretty. I'm actually in my bedroom and I haven't decorated this portion of my room very much, so it's very drab. Brought in my little table with my little aloe vera plant to add a little green little decoration. But anyways, today is fun. I am doing my first ever book recommendations video. I love to read, as hopefully many of you guys do, but I'm not like 100 book a year reader or even 80. I read when I can, or I get distracted on my phone and don't read, but we're gonna try to do better this year. Anyways, I love it. So I thought today I would give you a recommendation. We're in March now. It is slowly transitioning from winter to spring to summer. And so I thought I would give you recommendations for books for spring. I thought that was fun because I think spring is this culmination of so many, there's so many different parts of springs as we're transitioning from the darkness and cold of the winter to the sunshine, happy summer. And so I think you can experience so many different emotions or be in different seasons within the one season. So I thought having kind of a book recommendation for each of those kind of seasons would be really fun. In the beginning of spring, or at least where we're at now, it's not even technically spring yet. We're still in winter. I think until the 21st, correct? Anyways, so if you're still in that winter-esque feel, if you're still either you don't want to be there, still are, or want to be in that kind of darkness, I don't know, kind of in that seasonal depression, dark outside, sadness, all the emotion kind of vibes, like nothing super duper happy. Maybe some rays of sunshine come in that kind of season portion. My book recommendation would be A Little Life by Hania Yanagihara. I know what you guys are saying. This book, if you've read it, or if you know, this book is every emotion possible that you can feel in a book, besides complete joy, I think. Anyways, it is the epitome of winter kind of feels when you think of, if you don't like winter, it is a book that follows four friends and they meet in college, and it's their kind of story um over the next, I think, either 3 or 4 decades, and their relationships with each other, their relationships with their family, with romantic partners, with other friends, um, and just how that progresses and changes. And you kind of get an idea of who they were before they met and who they are now, and just the whole progression and their story, and how complex each of both how they go about life, how they think of themselves as just a person or relative to society, to each other, and just the complexities of that, and then just the complexities of life. This book, trigger warning before you read it. Look up warnings. Is it goes into some deep topics, and I just want you to be in the right headspace and just know what you're getting into, or have some semblance or um, knowledge of what's kind of talked about. When I first picked up this book, I just saw people reading it and them crying, and I was like, I want to feel some emotion today. So I started reading it. Didn't really know what it was about. Knew kind of it was probably going to have some deeper stuff, but really I did not know. And though I am glad to have read it, maybe having some warning of what it was would have helped. But anyways, just letting you know. Spice level on this book, I would say 2.5. 2.5 out of 5. Anyways, really good read. It is, I would say, kind of just not probably a life changing read, or just a book you're gonna constantly think about. Like, maybe, I don't know if you'd want to read it again. It's not gonna be a book you're gonna read over and over. It's gonna be a book that you read once and it stays with you forever. That kind of vibes. I want to feel something, read this book. It is very good. Take it slow. Don't just rush through it. I don't know if you can, to be honest. I don't know if you can rush through this book. You just have to take it and, yeah, and read it and enjoy just the author's talent for writing and character analysis, and, all the characters. Our like main male character, Jude, one of the most complex characters I've ever read about or read, is actually another wintry, but it's not sad winter. It's like fall going into winter, but you're feeling it in spring essence. It's, maybe you want it to be fall. You want to just skip over summer and it to be fall, and you want to be cozy and feel warm. Or it's, you know what it's actually for? It's for rainy days, because spring is full of rainy days. And so it's for those where you cozy up with a warm drink and a warm blanket, and just read and just get lost. And if you're in school, get lost from school and life and everything. Anyways, that recommendation is Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is a trilogy. It is a completed trilogy that just, I think the last book came out in 2024. It is a fantasy romance, I would say, series. It's so good. It follows our main female character, Evangeline Fox, who believes in true love and in happily ever afters. And she is finding that for herself. Well, this is for the first book. Her true love is getting married to someone else, and she must stop the wedding. So she strikes up a deal with the Prince of Hearts, an interesting, wicked, um, immortal character. And he'll stop the wedding, but in return, she has to give him 3 kisses of his choosing, like at a certain time and a place. It's kind of the consequences of that deal and what it leads, uh like this adventure that leads Evangeline on in her quest. She's still wanting true love, and it's so good. The second book is my favorite. I love that one, but highly recommend. An easy fantasy read, pretty quick. The plot, it's not like a super complex world. Pretty easy to understand. It's fairy tale esque. It's fun. Highly recommend. Spice level 0, 1. We'll say 1. 1 out of 5. Really nice. I think it's a YA. I'm pretty positive. Okay, now we're gonna move on. Or the beginning parts of spring. We're not fully fledged. Winter is still on our back, but we're looking forward to it. Kind of the stage we're at right now. We're headed towards it, but not quite there. So for that kind of portion of spring, my book recommendations are, first, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book is one of my all-time favorite books. I loved it. I read this a few years back. Forever Changed. Love the show too. Watch the show if you haven't after you read this book. Anyways, it follows this band, Daisy Jones and the Six. It's a fictitious band set in the 60s. And so they were up and coming. They were the next big hit. They were, everybody loved them. They were, doing so well. But then they broke up and no one knows why. This book is set, I want to say 20 years later. I don't remember exactly, but set later on. And so it's an interview style book where these band members and some kind of supporting other like main characters who aren't part of the band also put in information about what happened. And so it just, you know, they each reflecting on what happened, the start to the end, and where they're at now. And so it's such a good book. Highly recommend. Spice level for this one. Um, let's say a 1.5. I don't remember a ton. Anyways, so good. Just I think about these characters not on a daily basis, but definitely a weekly basis. I just remember them, think about them. The show is also so good. They did such a good job. So read the book first, watch the show. Let me know what you think. I love it. So good. I recommend this book to literally everybody. Now, on to our fourth book. This is still in that beginning spring into actual spring kind of vibes. This one is Pride and Prejudice. I know what you're going to say. A classic. Yes, a classic. Because you know what? It's we're in the third month of the new year, and you probably had read a classic or 10 classics on your list, and this is going to get you started or help you on that journey because this is one of the best classics ever written. Anyways, if you don't know the plot of this book, you hide under a rock or you live under a rock, and that's okay, but still read this book. It's about Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy and kind of their relationship throughout, I think, is it the 1800s? Something like that, in the Regency era, and just their different social standings. And so it follows them, their relationship with each other, relationship with their, friends or family, and how they view society and rank and status and marriage and just all those, and how they have differing views. And so yes, read this book. I know it's a classic, meaning it can be hard. The literature, the writing can be hard to understand. But here's what I recommend. I feel like this is the only time I would ever recommend doing this. But actually watch the movie or watch the show before reading the book. I only say that because it'll help you understand the book better, like the flow of the book, what's kind of happening and why. The 2005 is my favorite. I probably my favorite movie ever. But definitely watch that or watch the show. You can also listen to the audiobook. It's usually available, I think. I've every time I've kind of looked for it, it's always been available. But listen and just maybe take it slow. It's such a good read. It's at least pick it up, at least try, put it down if you can't, and then try again later. But highly recommend this. It is just chef's kiss amazing, and not just because of the two main characters. You come to love most everybody. Spice Zero. It's it's a Jane Austen, but Yearning 10. Now we're in we're in spring, not to summer. We're in spring. We haven't reached the latter half of spring. So, for these recommendations, I have first The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. This book revolves around Hannah and Jack. Hannah is a bodyguard. She kind of guards high profile clients, not necessarily celebrities, but like think oil owners or like big company CEOs and those kind of people. Well, Mr. Jack Stapleton comes into town and he's a big movie star and he has kind of been out of the spotlight for a long time, but he comes in back to Texas where I guess he's from. This is where this whole story takes place because his mother is sick and he wants to go to the family ranch and help out his mother, help out his family. Well, he has a stalker, a crazy stalker who won't leave him alone. And so he must be protected. And so he kind of hires Hannah's company, the company she works for, to protect him from his stalker. But here's the thing, his family does not know he has a stalker, and he does not want to make his mother, his poor mother, worry more. So he and Hannah end up pretending to date. She pretends to be his girlfriend while also protecting him, and it is an amazing, cute little love story, adorable. Just slice of is a slice of life, slice of happiness kind of stuff. Just if you want a quick, it's a pretty quick read. The audiobook is also really good. Spice level 1.752, I would say. I only remember one kind of scene, but yeah, not too bad. Really cute. Love Catherine Center. Have read two of her other books that she's written, but would highly recommend. Next, it's cuffing season in this kind of. We're in spring. It's cuffing season. It's love season. People get together. It's spring, going into summer. You want to have a new boyfriend or girlfriend for summer to enjoy summer. So the ideal book for this that definitely just shows this is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is a teen rom-com in a book, like a teen movie rom-com just put in a book. It's so cute. It follows Liz and Wes, who are neighbors, and they're essentially frenemies. Wes gives Liz a hard time, pranks her, just pain in her butt, but it's all good. Anyways, well, Liz's old crush and still, I guess, simmering crush, Michael, comes back into town, and she wants to be noticed. She wants to be on his radar. Well, Wes and Michael are friends. They, I don't know, go back. They've always been friends. Anyways, Liz decides to befriend Wes, who, I don't know why, agrees to help her get onto Michael's radar and kind of fit in with his friends and everything. And so it's just their whole little story and everything. And it's so cute. It's adorable. You should read it. Pretty quick read. Spice level 0. Yeah. Uh, Yearning 8. Slow burn 8, I would say. Good slow burn. Such a good little book. Really good. Love Lynn Painter. Have read a few of her other books, but this one's definitely my favorite. Okay, so my next book recommendation is a memoir by Dolly Alderton called Everything I Know About Love. It is um kind of Dolly Alderton's journey through her life and all the lessons she's learned about love between both her and romantic interests and her and platonic friendships she's had, and just her relationships with the people around her, her family, and just everything she's learned thus far. And Dolly Alderton, I think, used to be uh like advice columnist writer, and so and then it ended up becoming, I don't know if it was for about love, but anyways, highly recommend this book. So good. I would actually recommend listening to the audiobook. It is I didn't that's how I um kind of read this book, was through the audiobook. It's so good because Dolly herself reads the book to you, and it's just her, essentially you're sitting down with tea, and it's not even just hot liquid tea, it's piping gossip tea. Not gossip, but just like give me the tea, let me know all the details. So it's her telling you all the different people and the different ventures she's gone on. I highly recommend it. So good. Now we are going from spring into summer. Not quite summer-esque, but we want to think about summer. We want to be laying on the beach, getting a suntan and just relaxing. But we're not there yet. But we want to think it. So the perfect books to kind of go into that, or the perfect book to start off that kind of goes with that, is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is the third book in Part of Your World. You don't have to like read all three of them or read them in order. It just sometimes the characters kind of weave in a little bit. So it's good to have a little like background. I read one of the other ones. I read Yours Truly, but I didn't read Part of Your World, the first book. Don't know if I will, to be honest. Um, anyways, it's about Emma and Justin, and they end up meeting in a weird way. They meet via a Reddit thread in which they both find out they have the same curse. This curse is when, so our two main characters, they date someone, and right when they break up with those people, that person, those people find their soulmates. Emma and Jester are left, sad, brokenhearted, but luckily the other people find the love of their lives. And so, yeah, they share this curse. Justin convinces Emma, who is a traveling nurse, to come to Minnesota, be a nurse for 3 months, I think. 3 months there, and they date in order to break this curse. So that when they break up, they find their soulmates. So they strike up this deal. Emma agrees, and they go on these dates, and end up. I won't ruin it for you, but I think you can guess what happens. Anyways, and so just kind of their journey, and it's so cute, and just all the characters super interesting, and both Emma and Justin like have stuff that they're dealing with. Of course, it's an Abby Jimenez book. It goes deeper than just surface level. Like Justin ends up having to take care of his three younger siblings, um, and helping out with that. And Emma has some like childhood trauma issues she has to deal with. And so just kind of their journey in not just through love, but also dealing with their past and or their present predicaments. And so everything like that. But it's so good. Highly recommend. Favorite Abby Jimenez book. Yeah. If you want to think of summer, read that book. Okay. Next is another Catherine Center book. I do love Catherine Center. This book is called The Rom-Commers, and it's summer. I don't remember if it's set in summer, but it kind of gives summer vibes. Just I don't know. It's a cute rom-com essentially, as the title says. Anyways, it follows Emma and Charlie. Emma is a screenwriter. She wants to be a screenwriter. She works on some, but isn't super successful, hasn't gotten many contracts or anything, or opportunities to do that. She gets this big opportunity, though, to help aid Charlie Yates write a rom com. And Charlie Yates is a really famous screenwriter, and he does a lot of like action films, I believe, like, but doesn't know anything about writing a rom com. And so Emma is the queen of it, and so she flies down. I think it's in California, so summer. Flies down to California and helps him. Well, they get off on the wrong foot because Charlie did not want this. He did not know about this agreement, but ends up because Emma really needs the gig. She kind of left her life for, or left the life she was living for this, for now, for this big opportunity, her big break. And so they end up, collaborating, and Emma kind of showing Charlie rom com. Let me teach you how a rom com is written, how it, just the different parts of a rom com, which he is doesn't know anything about. And so it's a cute story, fast read. I laughed several times. There was even a K drama reference, which I thoroughly loved and totally understood. But so good. Highly recommend. Spice level 2. I'd say a 2. Well, it wouldn't be summer without an Emily Henry book, of course. And so for my last recommendation, I have her most recent novel, A Funny Story. This book, I remember initially starting it and I was like, yeah, I don't like the main guy. He just, when you're introduced to Miles, who's our main guy, he just doesn't exude that, you know, main rom com kind of guy. But you kind of understand why he's like that, or who he is, as you read further on. Anyways, Funny Story follows Daphne and Miles, and they are roommates. Well, they don't want to be roommates, but they are. And why they're roommates is because their exes ended up getting together and dating. And so, how it happened, Daphne um, was engaged to her ex fiance, I guess. Engaged. But he ended up getting together with his girl best friend. And so he kicks her out of the house they were living in, or the apartment, I don't remember. And she has no place to go. And who else would understand her predicament better than Miles, who also is in a similar kind of thing because his ex girlfriend just, ended up ditching him. Anyways, they end up, Miles and Daphne end up becoming roommates. And I think it just for a short term. It's not like a long term kind of thing. But anyways, they end up becoming friends, and Daphne is set on leaving Michigan where this all takes place. But Miles is like, don't leave Michigan just because of this whole situation. Michigan is amazing. And so he kind of takes her on a journey on showing her the great parts of Michigan. And through that, they become really good friends. And Daphne is actually a librarian, and loves being a librarian. And so she's like dealing with that whole kind of side quest, side hustle. No, it's her main job. And so like putting on a whole readathon there, and then Miles has his own kind of stuff going on. But it's such a good story. Really, actually, a funny story, not just because of the title. I laughed several times. So cute. Initially, it might be tough to read. I don't know. Know some people have, I guess, maybe not liked it. I loved this one. It might be I don't know, Happy Place was really good. I need to reread Happy Place, but I really liked Funny Story. I like the friends to lovers aspect of getting to know each other and becoming like really close and then kind of going further and everything. But yeah, highly recommend. So good. Definitely summertime vibes for that one. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys found some books that maybe you hadn't heard of, hadn't read. I know a lot of these are like pretty popular book talk, booktube kind of books that a lot of people have probably recommended, but I definitely love them, and they definitely show the different parts of spring. So I hope the beginning of spring is really good for y'all, and yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.